Hi there, I'm John of John's Carnivorous Plants. This is my indoor nursery, and today we are going to be answering the question of how much to feed a flowering carnivorous plant. So, the end goal of all plants is to flower, create seed, and create more babies and keep their cycle going, into perpetuity. However, whenever it comes to carnivorous plants, the adaptations that they have, typically speaking, are ways for them to get an edge in their environment, be it through getting more nitrogen that isn't otherwise there, or in some of the holocarnivores like Triantha. And a holocarnivore is a plant that only is carnivorous during its flowering phase. Not Triantha. Well, yeah, Triantha is a holocarnivore. Triphophyllum. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. It's a really rare plant from Africa that is extremely large and grows a sundew-like tentacle out whenever it's flowering. Now, whenever it's doing that, it's trying to get, I believe it was phosphorus and potassium, very particularly, to aid in the flowering process. So that kind of gives you an idea that whenever a carnivorous plant, be it a sundew, a pinguicula, or a nepenthes, is flowering, you do want to give it a little bit more of your fertilization method, be that live feeding by using liquid fertilizer, etc. Now, whenever I'm saying a little bit more, don't go overboard. Give it like about 10% to 20% more than what you'd normally give it is the best way I would say that. Because if you were feeding enough to get it to flower and every other condition is correct, you're just basically trying to replace what the plant is burning up and expending. This is actually the real nuts and bolts reason, outside of like poor care, why Venus flytrap flowers tend to be detrimental. Is that whenever the Venus flytrap starts to flower, it's typically very early in the season. It's trying to get pollinated before the traps start becoming much more active in their growth. However, once you see the flower go up, you'll typically have, a few traps that are active, and you want to get those fed, be it with a bug or with like dripping in Maxi with an eyedropper or something like that, in order to get it the extra nutrition it needs. So the plant itself isn't expending all of the energy it has saved up in its rhizome from overwinter. Because you got to think of it, the plant was surviving off of that sugar all winter through its dormancy period, and now that it's starting to enter into flowering, it's already slightly depleted, and any extra help you can give it helps the plant, continue on to be vigorous throughout the growing season. If it doesn't get extra help, it's going to focus all of its energy into the flower, because, like I was saying earlier, the whole goal of a plant is to get that flower and to get those seeds so it can get to the next generation. So in that regard, if you keep in mind that mindset, just understand that your plant will hurt itself, be it a helianthera or a nepenthes or a pinguicula, etc. It will take from itself to put more effort into its flower, because that is one of its most important, functions in its life. It's trying to reproduce, and it will put all of its effort into reproducing. So, keeping that in mind, you do want to increase the feeding. Now, I'm not saying you got to go ahead and start doing soil fertilization, etc., if you aren't already. Generally speaking, if you've given a plant outside of the aforementioned Venus flytrap, so like helianthera or nepenthes, if you've given them enough nutrition to flower already, it just needs, a slight little bump up more, so you're not detrimenting the plant as it's going through the stress of reproducing. Now, I hope that makes a lot of sense to y'all. If not, please leave some comments below and give me some direction for some future videos if you feel like I didn't really touch on the subject good enough. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out the links in the description, buy a plant for me to help support the channel, and I hope to catch you on the next one.